Captain Atlas, Episode 5, Salvation. Kuruga's ship. The spaceship was fast, but inside the Bermuda trap, it was strangely slowing down. They couldn't understand why. It took hours to reach the destination. Finally, Kuruga's old ship appeared in the distance. Atlas looked down. "There's no way we can land there." Marin nodded. "Even if we land on the water, we won't be able to climb back. We can't leave the spaceship here." They both fell silent for a moment. Then Atlas turned to Mia. "I think this is something only you can handle, Mia. How close can you get us to the ship?" Mia processed for a few seconds. "Landing is not possible. However, I can approach close enough to assist your descent." Atlas nodded. "All right, you're in control." The spaceship slowly descended and stabilized as close as possible to the ship. The lower hatch opened. A rope ladder dropped down. It reached the deck. Atlas and Marin exchanged a look, then carefully climbed down. They had made it onto Kuruga's ship. Emptiness and truth. They rushed to the control room. Empty. They searched the entire ship. Nothing. No one. "There's nobody here," Marin said. "Same here," Atlas replied. "Let's check Kuruga's room." They entered. Still empty. But on the table, something was waiting. The map. Atlas stepped closer, studied it carefully, then froze. It was marked. Kuruga had read the letter, but Atlas had made a mistake. "I must have remembered the coordinates wrong." Marin reacted immediately. "This marked location. This must be the real place. We need to go there now." Atlas nodded. No time to waste. They grabbed the map and rushed back, climbed up the rope ladder, entered the ship. The hatch closed. Mia set new coordinates. The spaceship accelerated once again. The right location, minutes before arrival. A massive ship appeared in the distance. Atlas leaned forward. "Is that Kuruga?" As they got closer, they saw it clearly. The ship was enormous, and the deck was packed with people, hundreds of them, and the date was almost February 21st. Waiting, Atlas looked down. The deck was completely full. There wasn't even space to take a single step. "Marin, landing is impossible." Marin nodded. "Yeah, there's no way." Time was running out. Atlas took a breath. "Mia, this is on you. Can you hold position as close as possible to the deck?" Mia responded, "Yes, Captain Atlas." The spaceship slowly lowered and stabilized just above the massive ship. People below looked up. Panic spread instantly. "What is that? Are those aliens?" Chaos, confusion, fear. But Atlas and Marin didn't move. They had to stay exactly there. Time passed. Minutes. Then hours. And finally, February 21 arrived. The teleportation cinematic. The air changed. There was a low hum. No wind. But everything was vibrating. Atlas looked up. The sky was bending. Lines of light started flowing across it. Marin whispered, "Captain, it's starting." A thin line of light appeared in the sky, then expanded, and within seconds, it became a massive beam of light. It shot straight down onto the ship, blinding. People panicked, but there was nowhere to run. Then, a dense gas spread across the deck, silent, unstoppable. One man stumbled, then another. My head. People began collapsing, one by one. Atlas struggled to stay awake. "Marin, stay with me." But his voice faded. Marin couldn't hold on either. Atlas looked up one last time. The light consumed everything. And then, darkness. Mia. Everything was silent, except one system. Mia. Stability holding. Position locked. Teleportation sequence initiated. The ship shook violently. Stability, 42%. Space itself began to distort. The ocean vanished. The ship faded. Everything was being pulled. Transition. And then everything stopped. Silence. Pure silence. A flash of white. And then nothing. The professor stood on the deck, staring toward the Bermuda Point. Uneasy. What if they didn't make it? Suddenly, A massive light burst across the sky. He grabbed his binoculars. The light faded, and then he saw it. The massive ship, and above it, Mia. He exhaled. They made it, but something was wrong. The deck was empty. No, something's off. Then, Professor, he turned. People were waking up, slowly standing. Within seconds, the deck filled again. He looked back through the binoculars. This must be Kuruga. And then he shouted, "They did it!" Awakening, Atlas opened his eyes. "Marin, where are we?" Mia's voice responded, "Captain Atlas, you are safe. We are back on Earth." Atlas stood up, looked down. People, ships, movement, reality. We made it. Reunion. Mia, land on the water. The ship gently descended. The hatch opened. Atlas and Marin rushed out, climbed onto the massive ship. Kuruga saw them. He froze. "Wait, is that?" His eyes filled with tears. He ran forward, embraced Atlas. "I can't believe it. You made it." Atlas smiled. "Thank you for reading the letter." Kuruga nodded. "I saw the light when you left. I remembered everything. And we prepared for a year." The professor stepped onto the deck. "So, you must be Captain Kuruga." Kuruga looked at Atlas. "The professor?" They met. But then Kuruga's expression changed. "What if you hadn't come back?" Silence. Atlas and Marin said nothing, because there was no answer.